Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Saturday, July 18th. I'm going to be continuing to play the game Persona 3 Reload as a part of my Persona A Day series. That's why I've been playing the game one in-game day at a time, as it matches the real calendar. I like to start off by going over what we did last time to make sure we're all coming into today with the same information. Then we'll get into today's gameplay and see what happens, and after that we'll come back here to the desk and talk a bit more about it. I'll have timestamps in the description in case you want to jump ahead to a different section. And please be aware that since this is a full playthrough of the game, we will be encountering spoilers. Let's start off then by going over what happened yesterday on Friday the 17th. This entire week, starting on Tuesday, has been the final exams for the first semester. So it's been an all-consuming aspect of every day. We've had school tests in the morning, and that's all the game shows us. We jump from one test on Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday, and Friday to Saturday, I guess, if I finish that chain off. So we haven't seen anything but school for the last almost week now, since Tuesday. But that just really solidifies how important this is. We're all in high school, everyone at the dorm, so that is the biggest thing in our life right now, these tests. A week or so back, it was getting ready for the full moon last Tuesday, and that was what was really consuming all of our time and focus, getting our equipment, our medicine, our levels all squared away. But now it's been the other side of that real world, outside of Tartarus obligation, of studying, reviewing, preparing, doing all of the responsible student activities to get ready for these tests. And it's been a good week so far. We still have one more test today, so I don't want to come into it overconfident, but I've been successful so far this week. It was a little touch and go on a few of the questions. I was able to talk my way through them, and having some of them, once I saw the multiple choices, it kind of stood out more as to what answer was more reasonable. But so far, I have managed to get each of the day's questions correct. So fingers crossed, I'm able to see whatever happens today and have as much fortune recognizing it. I've said before, I'm not using any sort of guides or walkthroughs, so I'm treating this just like a real test, and I'm going to be coming into it blind. But this has been an actual genuine test, and it's been really cool to remember some of these topics we've talked about in class and see it and actually be able to successfully apply it. So, yes, fingers crossed I can carry that on today. So yeah, that was all we actually saw in the game for the last few days, but each night I've also kind of added my own bit of story to our playthrough of what else happened in the day. Because it has been a full day, so obviously there have been other activities. Each night I came up with some mini story of some level of studying we all did, and last night was no exception. So I figured after school got out yesterday, be it late afternoon or early evening, we all made it back to the dorm. And kind of like on Monday night, we decided to all get together around the big table and just study. Kind of just go over the material that we have coming up for the Saturday exams, talk to each other if we've got questions on topics that maybe I'm not as good with, obviously my math. So maybe I was able to talk to Akihiko or Mitsuru or Yukari and just kind of like, hey, what did you get? How do you use this formula? That sort of thing. I'm sure we know what topics are actually going to be on today's test. Our characters do. I don't, but that would kind of be nice. But yeah, I figured we just kind of had one of those shared study sessions again. Junpei was probably there keeping it light, but Mitsuru was there to balance that out by keeping us focused. And we're all going to be giving it our best, not just because we're students, but because there's a potential beach trip next week to Yakushima. So that was a hugely motivating revelation on Monday when that came up. It was kind of one of those, this is a good trip for all of us, but it's contingent on a successful exam participation. So we've been giving it our all to study and to succeed during those tests. And like I say, if we studied early last night, I'd like to think that gave us that chance to kind of take that break in the mid to later evening and get something small, like some sort of instant ramen, and just kind of share a meal like we did during the May exams. Kind of that little reward for all the studying we've been doing. You kind of get to that point where you've covered all the material, you've seen as much as you can, and you're as ready as you're going to be. So I like to think that once we all kind of reach that point, we were able to take that break and just kind of relax and decompress. Share a good small meal before bed, just kind of talk things out that maybe aren't just all about studying, and take our minds off of that a little bit to just be people that aren't just studying. And then from there, we cleaned everything up, headed up to our rooms and got to bed to rest up to come into Saturday. Got to hit the last day just as strong as the first and finish it off on a good note. So yeah, that was how I envisioned yesterday playing out. And got us ready for a great day today, I hope. So I will get us over to the gameplay, and we will see what happens on Saturday, July 18th, the last day of our exams. Okay. So here we are. This has been the trend all week, but this is what happened at the end of yesterday. I just managed to get yesterday's question correct, or at least that's how I'm taking it. I have a feeling it was the right answer. It's always kind of hard to see that logic and think that, yeah, I think it was the right answer. I mean, I've had plenty of tests like that back when I was taking tests where, yeah, I feel good about this. I got that right. And kind of come to find out maybe I wasn't as right as I thought I was. So hopefully that's not the case in this situation, and I was actually correct this week. But so far it's been a good week. So fingers crossed that, the last day here, the Saturday test, is as kind to me. But yeah, that was the end of Friday. Eventually. Yeah, here we go. So yes, here we are catching up to Saturday the 18th, so we're back in line with the real calendar. Oh, we're not starting off at school.
Hello, this is Elizabeth speaking.
Elizabeth, so good to hear from anybody, but great to hear from you.
I'm calling in regard to a recent change in Tartarus.
I think we know what this means.
It seems that a path that had been blocked off is now open.
That's fortunate that came on the last day of exams.
I thought it prudent to inform you.
I appreciate that very much.
Well then, I wish you a safe journey.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That's good news to start the day with. Elizabeth said that a previously blocked path is now open. I should check it out next time I go to Tartarus. Yo, what's up? Junpei, I'm glad we're talking. There was some tension between us. I mean, ever since April, there's been some tension between us, but that kind of came to a boil after last Tuesday's full moon operation. And I don't really think it was... I mean, I don't blame Junpei for anything he said. He's been feeling kind of unfairly overshadowed by me. And yeah, I do think he's just as capable of stepping into the leadership role and taking charge of things. But yeah, that kind of felt like that came more into the surface last Tuesday. And gradually, since then, we've been getting a little bit more back on track. I'm glad we're talking to start the day here. Yeah, thank God today's the last day of exams. I hear that, Junpei. I've been happy and fortunate so far, but even still, getting to that last day, it's like, yeah, that is a great feeling. I like this choice here, too. I think I am just going to say yeah and agree to him, because I don't want to press too much. I've really felt like between the two of us, I want to keep those lines of communication open, but I don't want to force anything. If he wants to talk about something, I would be glad to talk about it, and vice versa. If I had something I needed to say, I'm sure I would be able to say it to him. But it kind of seems like he was tentatively approaching things today, with that pause between the yo, what's up, and turning to ask about current events, basically, about these exams. So I think I don't want to press him any further than we've already come. I just kind of want to ease us back into just that peaceful, happy conversation that we used to be able to effortlessly do. And I think that first step is to just not make it uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, thank God it is the last day of exams. I am right there with you. I agree, and I do. This isn't me just like putting on that mask to match what he's saying. It's like, yeah, that last day of exams is amazing. It's a great feeling. We still have to get through it technically, but to be on that last one and to know the end is in sight, yeah. So, man, I can't wait to let off some steam. You gotta let loose during summer, You do, yeah. As simple as a back and forth as that was, that felt good. Okay. We've done so well so far this week. It's the last day of exams. Gotta just do what I can. We've studied. I paid attention during class. Oh, the questions are just too easy. That's hopefully good. My pen won't stop moving. Oh, I didn't have to answer a question today.
I'm done, baby!
We did it, Junpei. Yukari, we survived. That's just such a great feeling to get to that last class, that last test, to turn that in, and just, it's done. We did it. Everything that we've been working towards, it is done now. And I'm excited I didn't have to answer a question today. I can't get it wrong if I wasn't asked a question.
The dark days of testing are finally over! The sun is shining bright!
It's a new dawn for us, Junpei. The future, it's ours now.
how'd you do?
Fair question. Kind of a hard one to throw in somebody's face, depending on how they think they did.
You are not gonna believe this. I aced PE.
You got this. Hi, yeah, good work, Junpei. I know that's meant to be a joke, but success is success. Wherever you take it, it's a good thing.
Well, that pretty much answers my question.
Whatever. A real man doesn't dwell.
He has really that mantra actually seems like it's showed itself so much in the way Junpei approaches things. I remember back when there was talk about Fuka potentially joining us, but there was that concern that she'd been in the hospital and things, and that she was too frail to potentially want to join us, not knowing if she would be able to or have any desire to join C's and work with us. Rather than focus on any of the negatives, Junpei's like, nope, we just have to ignore all that and just move forward about trying to convince her. Yeah, I'm not going to focus on the bad stuff. We're going to look at the what can be done. What is the future? So, right here, a real man doesn't dwell on the past. It's also kind of a fun way coming off of exams to say, oh yeah, what's done is done. I'm not going to think about that anymore. That was past me. That was his problem. I'm free of all that now.
I'm already thinking ahead to the blue skies of Yakushima.
I hear ya. That sounds nice.
Oh yeah, that's coming up soon, huh?
It doesn't sound like it was as much of a motivating factor to her as it was for Junpei and I.
Are you all ready to go?
I don't know, probably not. I can't think that I've prepared anything, but I'm excited to go if excitement counts as preparedness. And that answering a question with a question and just spinning it back to how about you? I mean, maybe ready to go as like a motivated factor. Am I ready to go? Like, yeah, I've been ready for this since we heard about it. Yep.
Yeah, I guess I should start getting ready too.
Yeah. I guess as far as like packing and preparing go, it's not rocket science, We're not going way off grid or anything like that. We don't need to, deep hike out to some location or anything like that. Especially as a guy, it's nice and easy to prepare for something like that. But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm glad that hopefully exams went well for all of us, and this can work out for all of us.
Oh, sorry, I don't sound very enthusiastic, do I?
Maybe not to the level of Junpei and I, but you like what you like. You focus on what you want to focus on. No judgment.
Hey, how about we stop somewhere on the way back? I don't have practice today.
Yeah. I was really kind of hoping for just a nice take it easy celebration vibe to today, just to kind of really get past these exams and say we did it. It was really cool getting past the shadow, full moon, everything last Tuesday. I mean, that felt huge. But in a sense, these exams have felt just as big as a shadow encounter to me. This has been a literal week. Well, literal in the sense that it started on Tuesday, in like a week span of time, not like a legitimate, real 7 days, but this isn't like a normal playthrough of the game where this has been a 5-minute exam marathon. This has been a since Tuesday marathon. So, 4 or 5 days here. So I'm ready to kind of cut loose with everybody else because this has been a week of tests.
Sounds good. Where we going?
Yeah, I'm open for anything.
If you need to buy a swimsuit, I'd be happy to help.
How gentlemanly of him to offer his help.
Very funny.
And she didn't even entertain the thought. She's like, oh yeah, you.
All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna go grab my stuff from the locker room.
Okay,
Oh, I'll invite Fuka too.
that'd be great. Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to be able to catch up with Fuka as well, since she's in the next class over. I'd love to spend time with her after school, but I'm not confident enough yet, so I got to work on that.
Hey,
And I wondered about this too. As Yukari left, it's going to just be Junpei and I. So will that same level of tension still be there, even if it's a lesser extent? There's still been some things that have said and done and just experienced that haven't really been addressed yet.
I know I've been kind of a dick lately.
It happens. I get it too. I mean, I don't feel like he was doing this out of anything intentionally directed at me. It was kind of, the circumstances of where he was. I could totally see too if everybody was just constantly putting down my contributions and saying, oh, he's doing it great. Why can't you be more like him, sort of thing? Or we count on him. You're just there. It's like that would be tough since he is just as much a part of the team as everybody else. So that would definitely weigh out with me. And potentially cause you to lash out. Not that that justifies it or makes it okay, but I can see where he's coming from, so I don't take it personally, I guess, is the long-winded or the short version of what I was long-winded in saying. And he got to have that time of looking inside himself on Sunday. He was sitting in front of the screenshot movie theater, and he just kind of came to the conclusion on his own that my problems have been me. It hasn't been because of everybody else recently that I've been having trouble. It's because of my attitude. And it was really cool to see him have that maturity to really take that real, actual look and not ignore the things inside him that he doesn't want to see, but to say that, yeah, I need to work on this. I don't like some of the things that have happened, but at the end of the day, it's me that needs to change, not everybody else. So again, this is just kind of a continuation of him owning up to that, and I respect him for it.
So, sorry about that.
Thanks. And to my side of things, I would really like to offer some level of my own apology, because even if I wasn't intentionally dogpiling on Junpei for the differences in our abilities, I wasn't building him up either. I tried to give him credit as we were talking between you and I, but in-game, my character hasn't really had those opportunities to really congratulate Junpei on his contributions. And so, especially in a more leadership role like I've been cast, it feels all the more necessary to keep team morale high. So that was a failing on my own side too, by not doing my part to encourage and celebrate his accomplishments. And of my choices here, don't worry about it, seems probably the best. Yeah, I'm used to it. Sounds like just like a self-pity sort of thing. And kind of just throws it in Junpei's face that he took the time and the effort to make this apology and to own up to his side of things. So for me to just dismiss it as like, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about, when this is something so big and important to him, that sounds cruel. To some extent, saying don't worry about it seems a little bit dismissive, but at the very least, it acknowledges that little bit of a rift between us, and I do genuinely not want him to worry about it, so hopefully it's taken that way. Hopefully, we can just both move past this and be pals again.
All right.
And it's probably almost easier said than done, but if anybody can do it, I'm sure it's Junpei. A man doesn't dwell in the past, he looks to the future.
Let's put this whole thing behind us. Cool?
Cool.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Nice. I'm really glad we were able to have that bit of a talk. Kind of like the other day when Mitsuru and Yukari were talking at the base of the stairs, and Yukari apologized for some of the things she had said back on Saturday. And Mitsuru forgave her and also seemed to acknowledge understanding where she was coming from. I like to think that this was kind of Junpei a nice chance for that same level of social growth and progress.
Freedom at last! What should I do now?
Take it down a notch, will you?
Yeah, yes and no. I would hate having that kind of attention drawn to me personally, but I'm not the one who was shouting in celebration. That was Junpei. He's happy. Let him be happy, yeah. I'm not going to be doing that myself, but I'm not going to stop him from doing something that makes him feel good.
You bounce back from things so quickly, Junpei-kun.
He does definitely do that.
Know it. Oh, hey. Sonata-san's here. Don't see that every day.
That is actually kind of true. He does seem to, not show up in the afternoon. I don't know if that's just boxing club activities and those aren't running today because of exams, or if something else is going on.
Ikutsuki-san called me.
Oh, something else going on then.
I think he wants to talk about a new candidate.
Oh, that's exciting.
Does that mean another person is going to join?
Maybe.
True. Kind of like when we were considering Fuka initially. We knew that there was some level of potential, but we didn't know if she would actually want to join us or be capable given her circumstances. But thankfully, she's been a huge addition to the team. But it's that same idea of whoever we're looking at now. It's like they've got the potential, but there's still a lot of unknowns that we need to address before we can really say one way or the other.
Fuka,
Moriyama. I'm so glad that she and Fuka have become friends. We were studying last week, and Moriyama lent Fuka her notes, and we were able to kind of help them get a little closer by going through Moriyama's notes on some of the things that were missing or incorrect, and just kind of touch those up a little bit for her. So hopefully that helped those two get a little bit closer together. But just so cool that they've been spending time happily together ever since Fuka was rescued from Tartarus.
What's wrong, Natsuki-chan?
I also like that bow of acknowledgement to the rest of us.
Do you think you can stay after school with me for a mandatory study session? There's like no one. Oh, wait, are you about to head out for the day? Okay, then, never mind.
Wait! It's alright. I'll help you.
Nice. I'm glad. It'll be a shame to not get to spend the time with Fuka, but I'm glad that she's genuinely interested in wanting to spend time with Moriyama and chooses to do this.
Sorry. I'll see you all back at the dorm later.
Exactly. We'll celebrate then. You enjoy your time with Moriyama. I hope they have fun.
I'm really surprised at how much she's changed. Ah, friendship. How beautiful. Adolescence is such a wonderful thing. So full of vibrancy.
A very poetic Akutsuki today. It's
Mr.
Ken.
Chairman?
We've seen Ken Amada on Sundays at the Naganaki Shrine. Junpei, Yukari, and he have been hanging out. They introduced him to me and vice versa. I remember him seeming very mature in everything we've encountered so far.
Oh, hello. I just stopped by to pick someone up.
Okay.
I might as well introduce you to him now.
That's an interesting reaction.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Amada-kun. What are you doing here?
You know him?
We do.
He doesn't leave during the break because of his circumstances.
Oh, I heard about that. Something about your parents, right?
Okay, and I don't believe we've heard about that, so we're kind of getting some incomplete information here. I like how it's not being, hit over the head with just exposition at this point. It's enough to kind of plant those seeds, but not so much that it feels misplaced.
It used to only be me and my mom, but she got in an accident. So now it's just me.
Sorry to hear that.
It happened 2 years ago.
Right now, one of his distant relatives is paying for his school expenses. But that doesn't mean he should stay at the elementary school dorm all by himself, right?
True, being stuck all by yourself, that would be potentially tough if it's not your choice. If it is your choice, then I'd celebrate it with you, but if you're stuck somewhere, it's not usually by choice.
So I decided to move him to your dorm, just for the summer.
Interesting. I guess we already know Ken to some extent. Junpei and Yukari more so than I do. I've seen him in passing more than anything, but I mean, I guess if he doesn't mind, I don't see anything wrong with it. We've got the space. Probably, yeah, better than spending summer by yourself.
To our dorm? Do you really think that's a good idea?
Fair question, considering the other extracurricular responsibilities our team has.
Why, of course. He has the potential.
Ahaha.
Then he's the new candidate?
That's right.
Well, that changes everything.
But as you can see, he's still just an elementary school student. So it's only a possibility for now.
Yeah, that would be a tough consideration. I mean, I don't want to discount Amada's abilities by any mean. I mean, I don't know what he's capable of yet, and it's kind of unfair to just profile him as an elementary schooler and judge him solely based on his age, but what we do is dangerous. I mean, it's hard to drag somebody else into that no matter who or what age they are. I guess consequences and choices. If he's given the chance to make his own choice and understands the consequences, then there you go. We might be putting the cart before the horse there. There's still a lot of unknown details to address.
Are you Akihiko Sanada-senpai?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about you. You've never lost a boxing match.
Nice. Sounds like he's a fan.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
That's not the same energetic Akihiko, though. That's kind of a different reaction. You'd think he would be, really proud to kind of say, yeah, that's me. I haven't lost a fight. Phew. Bye-bye school exams. Hello summer vacation. Oh man, what a feeling, right? Like he said after school, just freedom. Like we did it all. We did all of these tests. We spent all this time studying. This entire semester built to this, and now we made it past that. And this is our reward for that. It is time for a vacation. Yakushima, here we come. I can't wait for Monday. You heard him, guys. Monday. Mark your calendars. Maybe I ought to hit up Polonia Mall to get some stuff for the trip.
Yes, precisely.
Oh, speaking of Polonia Mall, here, take this. A black sword. An interesting thing to receive from the chairman. I mean, he's given us equipment before, but interesting to have that correlate to Polonia Mall. What's that? It's just a small reward. You all deserve a little something after studying hard for exams. Okay, thank you. A sword is an interesting reward, but given what we do, I'm not going to say no to that. Have you heard about the antique shop at Polonia Mall? That's right. I have heard about that, but I remember there was an antique store that's been closed this entire playthrough so far, and I remember reading on there a note about it opening, and, I'm assuming this is kind of where that's building sometime in July. I don't remember the exact date, but there's a good chance it was probably today if they're bringing it up now. But that was one of those such a cool things back in April, and seeing that, it's like, oh yeah, that won't open for months now, and it was like, that's going to be literally months until that opens. So how time flies to think that might be today. It's called Mayoido.
That'd be correct.
It just reopened today, actually. If you bring that to the shop, I'm sure they'll be of great help to you. A little cryptic, but...
Why?
Yeah, Junpei's thinking what we're thinking. How's an antique shop going to help us? Am I missing something? I can't quite explain it very well myself. That really feels like a chairman line. As soon as he said that made me think back to learning about our theurgies. It has something to do with your emotional states. We don't really know how they work, so you just kind of have to experience it and figure it out for yourself. That kind of sounds like the direction he's giving us here, too. There's an antique shop, they'll help you. I don't really know how, but I'm sure you'll figure it out once you go there. And I suppose on the other side, like he says here, it'd be better to hear from the shop owner than from me. Leaning into an actual expert in something does definitely have its merits. I don't want to present something incorrectly, so go to the source for the best information. So, yeah, I approve of that logic out of him. So, understood, Chairman. Well then, I'll let you take care of it from here. Will do. The antique shop in Polonia Mall. Or that antique shop in Polonia Mall. The chairman suggested I pay a visit. I'll head over there now. I was like, yeah, I'll plan to head that way, but it was planned for me, it sounds like. I have been so waiting to save this new game, or this new save here. You can see the last time I saved it was Monday, because there has not been a chance since Monday night to save the game, which meant every day this week that I've answered questions, I've loaded that Monday save and played forward to the most recent day. And it wasn't a huge problem. Those were short days, as you saw from the other episodes, but after a while, it just kind of gets to be nice to have a brand new save here. Yeah, it was only 26 minutes or whatever, and that is mostly today's time, but still, just having a brand new, up-to-date current save, just as a game player, that feels nice. So we are heading to the antique shop. It is just back there, next to the pharmacy. I'm going to actually head over to the fountain here first off, because I've got some messages. Let's get those checked off first. And by that, I mean, of course I'm not going to do that now. Why would I do that? I've got to get to this antique shop. Messages, those can wait. So this is a new place for us. Mayoido Antiques. Mayoido Antiques. How they'll be able to help me, I don't know. Guess the only thing left to do is find out.
Welcome.
Maya Ito shopkeeper, welcome. Quite the cool interior. The kind of place I feel like I'd have to tiptoe through with all of those fancy, expensive-looking, obviously antiques given the nature of the store, on display on those tables there. The kind's like, oh, I don't even want to look at those rungs so nothing happens. Oh, are you in high school? And you're shopping here? Well, take your time and look around. I wonder how much of that assessment was kind of that mix of curiosity plus preemptive, like almost a defensive stance. Not that it's fair to, to profile like that, but just like, oh, you're a high schooler and you're spending your night in my antique store. That's kind of unusual. And that point's like, basically, I see you there. I know you're here, so if you're here to shop and be a customer, I'm happy to have a customer. But if that's not your intention here, maybe here isn't where you want to be right now. It seems this lady owns the antique shop. I should show her the black sword that I got from Mikutsuki.
What?
What's that? Here, let me have a look.
I see.
I see. So you're one of the ones Kurosawa was talking about. She knows Officer Kurosawa. That's interesting. This is but a humble antique shop. Having said that, I believe I can be of some assistance to you. As long as I have something like this black sword, that is. This here is a base model for crafting weapons. Ooh. By fusing it with various materials, you can craft special equipment. That sounds like that could open up some fun potential.
Of course.
I can help with the crafting process, but you'll have to collect the required materials yourself. Fair. These base materials can be found in places that tend to be quite unwelcoming. That's why it'll be up to you to collect them. A nice way to say places like Tartarus, most likely. How she might know those connections is a little odd, but I guess we'll see.
By the way,
Also, if you find any gems or the like, I'd be willing to exchange them for some of my wares here. I actually was thinking about the gems the other day, because I usually do a terrible job maintaining proper stock of gems in these games, and it's so easy to collect more than you thought you had and realize, like, oh, I've had a stack of 99 for a while, so all of these ones I've been finding have just been, I don't know, left there, eaten, whatever happens to them. They're not being saved anymore, so I need to try to do a better job maintaining balances of items like that this time around. The kind of resource management where you don't want to run out, but you don't want to cap out either. Well then, go ahead and have a gander. You can now travel to Mayoito Antiques to conduct an item fusion or item exchange. Item fusions involve expending one weapon part and a handful of required materials to create a unique piece of equipment. In the item exchange, the proprietor will take any gemstones off your hands in exchange for items. Materials that are used in item fusions can often be found in Tartarus, so you'll be able to collect them as you explore. Very nice. Opens up a new direction for a lot of things. Oh, this is kind of tough. I mean, the game wants me to fuse a weapon here.
creating equipment.
Okay. So this kind of explains that Nile blade, Nile cloth that I was given the other day, what those purposes are. I don't have any of this ore. Looks like I've got one of each of these base materials. We were given the black sword.
We have some new items prepared. Come take a look.
Interesting.
It's been much more pleasant around here recently, and on Port Island in particular. Well, I guess that just shows how much time has passed.
Interesting. Oh yeah, this is Nameless Katana. All stats +1 sounds pretty nice. It's a slight jump in attack and a nice, almost certain attack or accuracy. Then you got the Nikari Aoi here. A more significant attack boost and technically a slight accuracy boost. That sounds like it's got some potential. It's 3 malachite and 2 black
Both
quartz.
antiques and gems can lose their luster very easily if you don't take good care of them, especially during this time of year.
I also kind of want to take a look at the other items here, and if anything, there's a part of me that kind of wants to not fuse anything right now and see if maybe Officer Kurosawa has anything else. If I could conserve what gems I do have for other purposes and buy something from him, that seems like it's got some potential.
What would you like?
Oh, a lot of other things can be made with the blade here. This is going to take a more significant amount of black quartz, but it's a much more significant boost in attack and accuracy as well.
The more
Plus
I study,
counterstrike,
the
a
more I
medium likelihood to
realize
repel
there's so
physical
much I
attacks.
don't know. But don't you worry. I'll make sure your equipment is done right.
And the hard thing here is all of these are probably going to be really nice, but I've only got the one Nile blade to work with. Higher critical chance, that's nice because that would be a follow-up attack, more likely. Dizzy boost. Lower accuracy. We just got those jack gloves as a reward from Elizabeth for one of her requests.
You never really know what life has in store for you.
Wow, that is a really nice
Guessed I'd be running
a nice
an
boost from
antique
that Seas
shop,
rapier up to
much
the
less meeting
Flamberge
kids like
there.
you.
And yeah, that plus auto Suku Kaja there for the temporary accuracy evasion boost. That sounds pretty nice. Just as like a quick glance through those, that feels like a more responsible thing than the sword for Tom here. Even though I would love that attack. And that's the other side of it too. It's like attack is, it's great and weapons are great, but so much of our attacks do come from our personas that just like other item shopping, I have prioritized weapons a little less in this type of a game for that reason.
So, what will it be?
Okay, so we've got, armor or shoes that can be made with this Nile cloth. Wow, look at that defense boost. Although, yeah, that resisting charm, that was pretty huge.
Been much more
I mean,
pleasant
defense is
around
going to
here
be much bigger than
recently.
having to
And
resist
Port
charm,
Island
obviously.
In particular. Well, I guess that just shows how much time has passed.
Magic plus 5 on the sorcery robe. Those electro shoes for the plus 30 SP, that's pretty nice. A lot of choices. Kind of that same thing. I kind of want to see what Officer Kurosawa might have. I'd like to think that before too much longer, we'll see some new stock from him. I wonder if the game's going to really kind of try to make me make something. I don't have any of the ore.
What would you like?
As far as the black sword here goes, almost feels like the Nameless Katana might make more sense, even though it's got slightly less attack, because it's got +1 to all stats.
There's still
That
so
means
much to
I'd be a
go
little
about
faster, and my magic could do a little bit more,
You'll
and I'd
just
have a
have to
little bit
keep
more
testing
endurance.
different
Nothing
things.
totally game-changing, but wouldn't be bad either. And if I am using things that aren't just physical attacks, those all stats are going to always be beneficial, whereas the high chance of fear wouldn't necessarily come up as often. And the Holy Knight Sword, changing my affinity to light. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a reason for that if they've given me the option to make it, but that massive drop in attack seems like a highly specialized piece. I guess if I was fighting a bunch of things that were weak to light, then having that sword
Even after
equipped would just
turning my hobby into
conserve
a
SP in
career,
other
I
ways.
still find myself buried in research. Guess I can't kick the habit.
She'd mentioned being a researcher. I was kind of talking over that. That's interesting. In all this browsing, though, I wonder... Well, let's take a look at these trade menus as well.
I'm sure this will prove to be useful.
Ooh. These incenses I can be used to boost persona stats, and not just my own. I can use those on allies, as it says here as well. And skill cards. Ooh. Growth 2. I would really like to, like I've said about growth before, to try to get that on as many personas as I
Get my
can.
hands on certain items.
This would take literally all the onyx I have, which would be kind of a bummer.
Interesting. Bring it to me, will you?
A lot of good options there. And the trade
I'm
items.
sure this will prove to be useful.
Okay. Some good things here. Well, I definitely want to come back here and see what I can make use of, but I'd like to kind of know all my choices before I make a choice. So let's see if I can leave for now.
Is that all you need?
For today it is, yes. Thank you for the introduction, and I might actually be back depending on... No, I just want to thank her. Probably kind of cruel to say, yeah, I might come back to your store if the other store doesn't have what I need. But I'll keep that knowledge to myself and just thank her for putting up with me for the time I was here talking.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you, and it was nice to meet you. Okay. Maybe now that I've done that, I can check my messages. Nobody else is lost. That is good. Ah, President Tanaka. Appointment. Did you forget? In that case, I'll head on home if you don't show up soon. Do not reply to this message. Please contact us through the official inquiry portal. Amazing Commodities Corp. And Wild Duck. The wait is over. The weekend Wild Duck site is finally here. Plus, your free drink that comes with the set will have extra ice. Peck away, Wild Ducklings. Secret recipes? Mysterious ingredients? Do you have the guts to go Wild Duck? Wouldn't be bad to see President Tanaka. I also saw other people back at the dorm. It might kind of be fun to spend some time with somebody back at the dorm tonight. There was the fact that Tartarus opened up a bit more, so it wouldn't be bad to go there, but there's this part of me that kind of, like I said earlier, wants to take it a bit easier today. After all of the exams this week, it kind of seems like it would be rushing into things to say, okay, I know we were talking about, being happy to be done with exams, but let's go face mortal danger in Tartarus tonight. That doesn't really sound super appealing when I say it like that. I mean, yeah, I could, did kind of frame it in a way that was slanted against it. The other options kind of feel a bit more appealing to me tonight, so we'll see about that. But let's see what other people chose. Look at that split between everybody. It seems like a lot of people were not sure which direction they wanted to go. A third of people went social links. Slightly less went to Tartarus. And the majority, or the... No, not the majority, but the biggest share of the mix here, they went in daily life. And I like that. They watched a DVD. They went to the cafe. They went gardening with Junpei. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. That might be that chance for the two of us to talk. Last time we gardened together, we were talking about raising vegetables to compete with the high-priced homegrown things that the rich people buy. But just as like a social reaching my hand out to Junpei and say, hey, do you want to come garden with me? After him taking the effort today to talk to me, that kind of sounds like a chance for me to meet him for my side of things as well, and not just rely on him to say, to come to me and beg for my forgiveness sort of thing, because I want to reach out to him just like he wanted to reach out to me. That kind of sounds like it's got some potential tonight. Everyone's average level is 29, and Floors is up to 71, so not a huge jump up, but I wonder if that's partially because of the fact that only a quarter of people went there. Let's take a look in here at Officer Kurosawa's potential new stock. We'll see if he updated like everything else.
Got some
He
new
does
things
have
in
some new
stock.
stuff.
Check it out. Don't got the time.
138.95. That's a decent jump. Better accuracy, better attack. No random ailment chance low, but that wasn't really that huge of a draw to me.
When it comes to blades, you've really got to take good care of them.
True.
Otherwise, they're just useless metal sticks.
Seeing that from the blade side of things makes me more interested in potentially upgrading Mitsuru with the weapon from the antique store, the flambers.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, I think that was a much higher attack compared to the options here now.
Take as long as you need.
And these jack gloves are better than everything here.
What are you looking for?
Ooh, that's a nice jump for Junpei as well, that Zanbato. I don't see it, like I said, I don't see myself doing any actual purchases tonight because they'll be on sale on Monday. Although we probably won't, if we're going on vacation, we may not be here Monday. But prices are also getting higher, as one would expect as the game goes on. So, 14,000 for this weapon. That's not a huge chunk of my money, but as a portion of the overall, I've only got 83,000, so that goes down pretty quick if I'm trying to update everybody.
Uh-huh. What are you looking for?
An army vest and a robe of salvation. A lot of things about light evasion and attack in the recent things. That is a nice jump in defense just for the base army vest there.
Everything stocked here is through my personal connections. Whatever you get, and however you use it, just be careful.
So yeah, 122 is the most defensive item we can purchase. I should be writing these things down, but I'll double back there and check because I kind of want to get a feel for what's here and then compare that to what I can get from the antique place.
Uh-huh. What are you looking for?
Okay, we get +2 magic from the magic sandals, or slightly more evasion, just straight evasion of the crimson greaves. Yeah, 11 points of evasiveness. That's not bad either.
Feel free to buy whatever you want, but I suggest picking something that complements your physique.
And
What are
accessories,
you looking for?
+20 SP. Yeah, that's pretty good. Elemental evasions, that's nice too, to kind of offset weaknesses.
What'd you bring?
Nothing to sell tonight.
All done here?
Actually,
Uh-huh. Take as long as you need.
okay, it was 122. That's kind of what I was thinking it was. 122.
You finished?
I am. Thank you, Officer Kurosawa.
Back soon.
I've got that one Nile cloth, so what can I make out of that? And how would that compare to 122
Welcome.
defense?
Come on in. Which one? What would you like?
140. It's a nice boost, and it resists dizzy. It would take a not insignificant amount of malachite.
Both antiques and gems can lose their luster very easily if you don't take good care of them, especially during this time of year.
I mean, that's a nice jump in evasiveness as well. And the very first time I was changing out equipment at the beginning of the game, my first purchase had been footwear for everybody, partially because it was the more affordable thing, but the idea that if I can evade damage, defense kind of becomes a moot point.
Kurosawa and I go way back. He and my neighbors usually keep me in the loop about everything going on.
Okay, so they've got some connection there. But back to the counterpoint to the evasiveness from shoes. You're not going to evade everything, so you are going to get hit. So at that point, you definitely do want the defense. So maybe it does make a bit more sense to pick that up. I guess I'm not looking to go to Tartarus tonight. I assume that the antique store is going to stay open. So maybe it makes more sense to kind of do this all in one, one outing. Update the gear from Officer Kurosawa with what I can, and do the gear here. So it's updating everybody at once. I think that might be where I go.
Is that all you need?
It is.
Hope to see you soon.
I will definitely be back. All right. It is Saturday, so there should be a sale going on at the pharmacy today.
Right.
My pharmacy's detoxifier is famous. It sucks the poison out of you like a healing vacuum cleaner. Girlfriend's pimples, wives' sharp tongues, it can cure anything. Hey, you're a student, ain't you? Try it on your teacher next time she nags you.
You'll like the new stuff we got in stock. Take a look around, yeah?
Okay. Soul Refresh. Vitae Gold. Some multi-purpose status cleanses. Are those the only new items? I'm not complaining.
Best to stock up on items before you fry to a crisp this summer. You're gonna need them to get through the brutal heat.
I've got the individual specifics with the discharm, poison, rage, all that good stuff. But a few of these anyway, just to kind of supplement those. I feel like now's a good chance to get a couple of those.
You made up your mind? That's all you want?
Okay, I'll take 3 of those. Okay, they've moved them on my list here. So, okay, yeah, 5 of those.
You made up your mind?
5 of those.
Thanks for coming.
just kind of to have those on hand. I like all the other medicine. That's my fallback if I need it, so I'm glad to have those.
You got everything you need?
I do, thank you.
Come again, yeah?
Again, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. It kind of flies in the face of what I was saying about not buying weapons since I wasn't going to Tartarus. Why buy medicine since I'm also not going to Tartarus? But that's a little different tonight because tonight's that weekly sale. Or at least that's how I'm going to tell myself. Elizabeth, how have you been this week?
Good day. Are you accepting a request?
Nope, looks like I'm all good.
Very well, then.
And I'm looking to probably go back to the dorm, so I don't need to worry about which persona I have with me. So I'm just going to stop in here and say hi to Igor. It's been since Monday, so... I don't want to say I hope he missed me, but I have missed him, so...
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Igor, Elizabeth, it's been too long. I'm glad to have a chance to step out and say hi. I hope you've been having a good week. Hope you've been staying cool in here, and it's just so good to see you again. I'll try not to be away as long next time since we're finally beyond exams. That's all I've got tonight, so I will see you when I see you.
We look forward to your next visit.
Just happened to look up at the other corner of the screen there, too, and see our countdown. It's down to 19 days already. It feels like it was just the full moon not that long ago because it was just last week, but it's been a week, so time is moving right along. Okay, that actually... Well, President Tanaka. I do want to do more social links, but tonight feels like a time for people back at the dorm. So it's You're the Answer and Edgar's House of Fortunes at the arcade tonight. And let's stop by Club Escapade as well. Might even head by the Net Cafe on the way back. Ooh, new people to talk to. Glad I came in. The man who can't get groovy. Hey, how's it going? It's groovy. Exams are done. It is summer. Hard to ask for better today. It's almost summer. I'm bummed out because I can't get into the groove. You got this, man who can't get groovy. I believe in you. Upbeat woman. I wouldn't mind going out with a guy who walks around topless. As long as he's tan and toned like a surfer. That guy I saw earlier, he was just freaky. Long, greasy hair, pale skin, no meat or muscle, and parading around half naked. He was so creepy and gross. I believe we know who she's talking about. We saw he, along with two others, they've apparently been watching us since April. We saw them last at the end of the full moon encounter back on Tuesday. They were watching us from a nearby rooftop. They were trying to decide if we were an ally or an enemy to them, which sounds dubious. And from what little we've seen of the way they operate, it doesn't sound like they do things the way we would. We saw them shoot somebody during the dark hour, probably about a month ago now, so it doesn't kind of seem like our ideals are in the same alignment there.
Welcome.
Luxury shopkeeper, we haven't talked to him about anything in a while. Welcome. If you want to make an impression, accessorizing is a must. Aha! This makes sense since we've got access to that antique place and they take they take gems. I can actually buy some here. Interesting. That avaricious ring doesn't sound bad either. I mean, it's wild to look at this too and think that 100,000 used to feel like, oh, I'll never have that much. But, now I'm sitting at 77,000 after doing some shopping. Weapons alone are costing north of 10,000 yen per weapon, so... that 100 is kind of framing itself differently as time's moving forward. On a per malachite basis here, I mean, I believe making that one sword would have cost 10 malachite, so that's 30,000 yen if I were to purchase the malachite. So they're the kind of things I'd much rather find, but to know that they can be purchased here, in a pinch if I need them, that's kind of nice to have.
Why, thank you.
Hopefully if it comes to the time where I actually do need to remember that, hopefully I do remember that. Mutatsu-san is here as well. Oh, okay. I don't know why I just saw Tanaka there and totally omitted the time with Mutatsu. I guess it was Tanaka that messaged me, and Mutatsu-san did not. It would be nice to see them, as much as the social links have been my priority for a lot of the evenings recently. But like I said, tonight I'm still feeling more the time back home. I am going to stop here on the way, though. Like I said, I want to stop by the Net Cafe, just kind of see if there's any new stock. The other businesses all seem to have some new stuff in, so maybe today's our day to maybe find something new. If not, it's just another place to enjoy on the way back to the dorm.
Come on in.
No, not today. So just a free bit of air conditioning while we're out.
Come again.
But there's also that knowledge of knowing for sure that I'm not missing anything there. What I do when I get back to the dorm and talk to everybody as well, and just kind of see what else they've got to say. Check what's on TV, maybe. And then, if nothing else jumps out at me, I'm thinking of doing some gardening with Junpei. Sounds like a fun thing to do. And I've already taken my bag upstairs. It's been a little while since I saved it, so let's catch that back up. Nice. Chairman Akutsuki, thank you for the sword. I technically didn't do anything with it, but I know of what I can do with it now, so thank you for that.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe I'll visit Mayoito myself when I have a bit of spare time. There's a thing or two I'd like to ask. But above all, I'd love to take the time to browse the antiques and learn the grand history behind each piece. Yeah, that would kind of be a cool experience. Fuka, how are things? Let's talk.
Oh, hey!
I'm so excited for the trip. I've only read about Yakushima in textbooks. A short while ago, I wouldn't have been able to even fathom traveling together with everyone. It is amazing how things change. Mitsuru,
By the way,
have you made all your preparations for Yakushima? I can't think of anything more that the game will allow me to do, so sort of technically. I'm ready, yeah.
Oh?
Oh? You had adequate spare time during finals, did you? I planned efficiently, yeah, let's say that. I made the optimal use of my time. I didn't neglect my studies, no. Well, as long as you did well on them. There's that harsh bit of reality to look back on. It's like, I think I did well. I mean, I gave it my all. It sounded like I did okay today. It sounded like I did okay the last few days. There's that limited time between turning the exams in and seeing the results where there's that unknown. It's like, I think I did well. I gave it my best, but until I see the grade, we won't really know. And then it's like, when it comes back, do I want to know? Part of me does, but it's also kind of like confirming reality then. It's like, okay, yep, that was the actual grade. Let's see what's on TV. An emergency planning session was called today. It's dealing with many cases of apathy syndrome over the last few months. Cultural anthropologists are investigating the causes, and so apathy syndrome is definitely still the focal point for things because it is still totally unknown and ununderstood. So it's understandable that people are trying to do what they can to figure it out. Yukari!
Hey!
Amada-kun is so mature. I can't believe he's only in elementary school. There's a certain someone who I wish would learn from Amada-kun's example. Why do you think he's so childish all the time? Even an actual child acts more grown-up. Kinda gotta cut him some slack. We can't just keep putting him down like this. Maybe he thinks we act too stuck up and stuffy. I know I can't put anything in here, but I've still got this lukewarm taiyaki with me. That'd be nice to get in here at the end of the month. 7/29. It's a lot closer than it seemed like last time we were here. Wouldn't be bad to watch a DVD either, but like I said, doing some stuff with Junpei, just to kind of reach out there and have that chance to talk. To focus on a task so we're not just awkwardly stuck talking, but to be able to work with our hands and then just kind of talk in the moment. I feel like that's going to be a good thing for the two of us. So I'm going to save it here because I think that is how I'm going to spend my evening. Hey, think we should check on those planters up there? I know you're not supposed to give them too much water, but what if they're not getting enough? Quality of the produce might improve if we tend to the rooftop planters together. I actually am kind of wondering if those were ready to harvest. I wonder if it would be kind of a waste to do that now before I harvest them. I'm not too confident doing it on my own, so if you're free, that'd be cool. It's going to be kind of a bummer to say not now and then come back and say, oh yeah, by the way, let's do that instead. But I'm not sure if their quality will change or improve if they're already ready to harvest. Sorry, Junpei, not now, but give me just a minute to head upstairs. I'll be right back. Oh, busy, huh? Well, if you ever feel like it, let me know. Sorry. I always hate to approach somebody for something and then be the one to back out of it. Yeah, that wasn't my intention. I'll make it up to him. We'll head back down. Looks like the produce can be harvested. 3 healthy tomatoes. And since tomatoes are a straight healing item, they were kind of what I did want to have some help with Junpei, so I'm glad I still have 1 healthy tomato sprout on hand. Since it could improve our yield and potentially up the quality of some of them, it seems great to have more and better healing items. So yeah, let's plant those. Now Junpei and I can work on them. Kind of a different kind of relaxation for the evening, but it gets to spend time with Junpei. And that's really what I want to do here. The plants are just a secondary benefit.
Hey!
So same dialogue again here. I'm not too confident doing it on my own. So if you're free, that'd be cool. I am free. I can help. Let's have fun doing that together, Junpei.
All right.
Sweet. Let's get to it.
Grow up big and strong, my precious, luxurious veggies.
We're doing good.
Man, all this non-stop watering and weed pulling, not to mention the bugs.
Kind of wild to think that I literally just planted those. So I'm not sure how many weeds we would have, and if we've got that many bugs, I feel like we have other issues. But narratively, this is how the story goes, so it'll only be what it'll be.
It's pretty monotonous. It just feels like busy work.
I get that, but it's that monotony that kind of is that foundation for bigger progress long term. Ooh. Treat your garden like a lover. I like that, but saying it's all part of the fun is just kind of almost felt like that lying to myself of, this mind-numbing task is actually fun. Just tell yourself it is. But talking to Junpei here, I kind of feel like both of us would see this as, think of it like we're training. This is our plants getting stronger moment. This is the secret mountain retreat sort of idea. We're going to surprise all the plants when they come back and reveal how much stronger they become because of all of the work we're putting in here in secret. Think of it like we're training.
What? You some kind of monk now? Trying to reach enlightenment or something?
It wasn't quite the angle I wanted, but that kind of works too, I guess.
Well, if we get to train and raise veggies, it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe we should try catching flies with chopsticks, like one of those master swordsmen, huh? Gotta say, we've got a long way to go before these veggies put us on easy street.
Yeah. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We got to put in the work to have a chance for getting the results. And even if we don't get those results, the work we put in is still going to help us grow in some capacity. Hopefully socially between the two of us, we can understand each other a bit more and kind of just enjoy our time together. But from actually putting the effort into gardening, you just kind of learn the do's and don'ts of how to make the process better. It's like, oh yeah, these are weeds. This is how we fight these bugs. This is just how much water the plants need. So the next time, it's not that experimenting and figuring out. It's the experience and knowledge that can take over. So even if we don't get the results today, it equips us to have a better chance of seeing them tomorrow now. We're still gaining, even if it's not the initial gains we were expecting or hoping for.
Anyway, I'm the one who asked you to join me in the first place, so I gotta be the one to look out.
Fair, taking responsibility. I respect that. I tended to the rooftop planters with Junpei.
Da-da-da-da! The veggies have leveled up!
Nice. So all that training paid off. They gained enough experience to level up. What sort of stats did they gain? +5 shine, +12 nutrition, +30 taste. I hope they all got so much nicer and better, and that we level up along with them. The extra care is paying off, and I can harvest more.
Another day of hard, honest work. Let's head back downstairs.
And that is kind of that good feeling too of seeing that I put the time and the effort into this, and this is what my effort paid off with. I gained knowledge, experience, fun. The plants are better off for it, so yeah, just to get to the end and look back on it favorably. It wasn't like, oh man, this was hard, and yeah, I don't want to do that again. It's like, yeah, I did this, and I can see why I did this, and I enjoyed doing it, and I want to do it again. Very nice evening. Kind of nice to have a day off tomorrow too after all that. But is this it? It looks like it is. So that is how we wrapped up our Saturday. Let's head back to the desk and talk about it. We'll be right there. Okay, so here we are. That was the end of Saturday, July 18th, and it was a great day. All the way across the whole day. It felt like a longer day, just kind of by virtue of coming off of a bunch of shorter days with exams, but it was packed with a lot today. It really kind of felt like. Almost wild to think that the day started back with exams. Well, even a little bit before that, I got to have, I say even before that, I was going to talk about the call or the talking with Junpei, but there was that call from Elizabeth first thing in the morning. There was the change in Tartarus, and the previously blocked section has become unblocked, so now we can advance further in. So it'll be nice to get back to Tartarus when we do. Can't say exactly when that'll be, but when it is, we'll be able to climb and make real progress again. Then, on the way to school, I was able to talk to Junpei at the gates. And we were both just excited that exams were coming into an end today. There was also that bit of apprehension in the two of us talking things out because of the recent friction between the two of us. I tried to keep it just as light as he was, just to not force the issue in any way. So it was just a good, brief little talk between the two of us. Then we got into the day, and I was pleasantly surprised to not have to answer a question myself. I was all set to hopefully keep the streak of successes going with tests, but thankfully the character took over and things seemed really easy today. My pen was just flying. So I think it was a good week of exams. I was able to answer all the questions I had to answer correctly. That right there I'm going to take as a massive win. But that was the final day of exams. At the end of the school day, exams are fully, totally, 100% officially done. After class, Junpei, Yukari, and I were talking about the upcoming beach trip and how exciting that is, and just sharing that sentiment that exams are done now. We really did make it. And how we should go out and we should do something to celebrate. Yukari said, yeah, that'd be great. I'll go let Fuka know, since she's in the class next door. So Yukari headed out, and that just left Junpei and I there in the classroom. And that was where he kind of said, hey, I know I've been kind of a jerk recently, and kind of just, I want to say I'm sorry. Well, and, it gave me a variety of options. The most fitting one was just for me to say, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Because I see where he was coming from. I didn't take anything he said or did personally. And I'm glad that we were able to move past this. So I do want things to stay open between the two of us and to move past it together. So it was nice to see those steps being taken. So we met up with Fuka and Yukari, and we were all headed out. Akihiko was there as well, which was kind of a surprise. He revealed that he was off to go meet someone who had the potential to join us, which was a surprise development. But to follow one surprise with another, as we were leaving, Chairman Akutsuki was there. We don't normally see him anywhere but back at the dorm. So to see him there, and with Ken Amada of all people, so just one of those, like, the who's who of coincidences showing up. I'd met Ken back at Naganaki Shrine on Sundays the last few weeks, but that's all I'd seen of him in passing, really. And it was revealed that during the summer, he didn't really have anywhere to go. He's been staying at the elementary school dorms since he didn't have the ability to stay with his parents. There had been some sort of accident with his mom. Something had happened there, so he's had a relative who's been paying for him to stay at the elementary school dorms, but over the summer, he'd be the only one there. And that kind of sounded like a bummer, so Chairman Akutsuki said he should stay in our dorm for the summer. Yukari was a tad apprehensive considering the kind of work we do as C's, fighting the shadows. But that's when Chairman Akutsuki said, well, that's nothing to worry about because Ken Amada has the same potential that you all do. Which was quite the revelation. And all the while Akihiko was acting a tad evasive. He wasn't his usual confident, peppy self. He seemed more surprised than anything. And it really felt like the wheels were turning in his head and he was thinking about something, but Ken was so excited to meet Akihiko. It's like, you're Akihiko Sanada-senpai, right? You're that skilled boxer that hasn't lost a match, the captain of the boxing team. I'm a huge fan. So it was really cool to see, that level of fame that Akihiko has resonating with Ken. And the fact that he's got the same potential as we do is interesting. The fact that he is still an elementary schooler does kind of give, I think, all of us a little bit of pause, but I said in the moment, it's not really fair to judge him solely based on age. But at the same time, there's obviously some level of responsibility that does need to go into that decision. So definitely a lot of things up in the air, nothing set in stone right now, but sounds like he's going to be staying with us for the summer. So there'll be a bit more activity around the dorm potentially. We were just about to head out when Natsuki Moriyama came down, and she was going to ask Fuka to stay after with her because she needs to stay for some supplemental lessons or something. But then she realized, oh, yeah, you're going out with your friends. Yeah, no, never mind. But it was really cool for Fuka to say, no, I want to stay with you, Natsuki. Let's go. Let's go, basically. She told all of us that, hey, I'll see you all back at the dorm later. It wasn't one of those like, oh, I guess I'll stay. She seemed like she genuinely wanted to stay with Moriyama. And I think Moriyama appreciated that. So it was really cool to see the two of them continuing to build that friendship. Junpei said as much as well. He couldn't believe how much she's changed in the last month. And just really cool for both of them that they have each other. But from there, we headed back to the dorm. When we got there, Chairman Akutsuki gave me a black sword and mentioned that the antique store at the Polonia Mall was open. And he said that I should take that sword there as a type of reward. Junpei and I were both there, and we're like, what kind of reward is this? That doesn't make any sense. What's an antique store going to do? But we followed along and went to the store and showed her the sword, and she, the owner of the Mayoito Antiques, revealed that kind of sword is a base ingredient weapon that she can use to craft new weapons. I also had a piece of cloth and some sort of other weapon crafting piece anyway that we can make other items out of. We use those plus gems to create new special unique weapons and armor and accessories. And I can also trade gems for incense and skill cards and healing items. So the antique store is a whole new avenue for all sorts of item acquisition. Just a different way to purchase things with the limited resource crafting material and the valuable / limited gems idea. Another one of those nice things to keep in mind as a source for things I'm going to need going forward. I actually probably spent a little bit too much time today going back and forth between what I should buy, what I should craft, what I need, what I can afford, to walk away not actually buying or crafting anything. But I figure I'm going to try to save that for a night when I can buy things on sale from Officer Kurosawa and just try to prioritize between the two shops what makes the most sense to spend my various pools of limited resources on. I did stop by the pharmacy, though, because they had a sale going tonight. He had 2 new items, 2 new status recovery items that were kind of multi-purpose items. So I picked up 5 of each of those just to make sure, I have 5 of each of those after today's purchases, just as that nice fallback parachute item in case I need it. Best time to buy them was on sale, and it didn't really deplete my wallet that much. So it was a good happy medium there. And from there, I stopped in to say hi to Igor and Elizabeth because it's been since Monday time since I spent any time with them. And I was just really trying to figure out something to do with the rest of my time. We had exams all week. There was a chance to go to Tartarus tonight, but that kind of seemed like a lot of extra stress and activity on top of an already busy week. And I just kind of wanted something that was a little lower key. I didn't want to have to fight a bunch of shadows after fighting exams all week. And then seeing that there were people back at the dorm that had some activities, specifically that Junpei was there, I wanted to take my own chance to reach out to him, just like he had done with me throughout the day, to try to keep those lines of communication and interaction open. I talked to him about doing some gardening on the roof before I realized the garden was actually already ready to harvest, so I backed out of that, went up and harvested tomatoes and planted new ones, and then went down and talked to him about gardening. And he was excited to have that chance. We've been, gardening and trying to grow some fancy vegetables to compete with the rich, fancy luxury ones that are out there. He thought that was going to be his chance to make some big money in a nice, easy way. So we headed up there to continue working on that, and he got to talking about just how much work is actually going into all that. All the little steps, the weeding, the watering, the fighting the bugs off of them. A lot goes into raising good quality produce. And I kind of said, this is kind of like training, right? I kind of figured, we were going to level up the plants. We were going to level up our own skills. And he kind of joked, like, what are you, a monk? But he also kind of liked that idea of, they are going to get better because we're putting in the work sort of thing. And he declared that the plants had leveled up after everything we had done today, and they were that much stronger and better. Sounds like it's going to be able to, I'm going to harvest a greater yield of them when it does come time to harvest them. And it was really cool to just have that time with Junpei again, to work on that, to chat about whatever we talked about, and to just also have the talk of treating things like this as a way to grow and get better for next time. The tasks that are a challenge now that we're needing to understand, how much water does this plant need? What do I do if the leaves look like this, or if this kind of bug is there? What starts out as a challenging task of not knowing how to address the problem soon becomes one of those, I've done this before. I know what to do. I'm confident in how to address this thing because I'm better at this task now. And that applies to everything, not just gardening. But it was kind of fun to see that depicted as gardening and extrapolate that to other aspects of life. You know, coming off of exams, that was especially apt because we did all of our studying and then we did all of our testing, and this was that literal proof that the things we were learning before have now sunk in enough that I'm able to utilize them in this exam capacity and in other capacities as well beyond that. So it was just a really nice social cap off to the evening. It was a bit of work, but it was that good kind of work that should hopefully produce the results based on the work we put in. And it was nice to get to bed after that. We've got a day off tomorrow coming up, so that's exciting. And just to have the exams behind us, that felt like the biggest accomplishment for the day. And that was the general sentiment throughout the dorm. We've got that beach trip coming up in a couple days now, Monday or Tuesday. We've got a lot of fun to hopefully look forward to coming off of all the work we put in before. All that being said, that is how Saturday the 18th ended. It was a really great day. We saw and experienced a lot of things, and I'm just happy to see where the story has taken us, to get past the challenges we were trying to get past, and to have some fun on the horizon for the party. So I've been Tom Shima. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you've enjoyed. I stream this Persona A Day series live every day at 12:30 Eastern Time, so anytime you want to be here live, I would love to have you. I also upload each day's playthrough to my YouTube channel. If that works better for your schedule, that's why they're there. The entire series is available there to watch at whatever pace works best for you. So I just hope we all have a great Saturday. If there's a chance to do anything fun, I hope we're able to take it. If there's anything you need to get done, I hope you can make it through without problem. And if you can make it through today, I hope it makes it easier to get through those same things next time when you level up like those tomatoes did. Either way, let's make it a great day. I've been Tom Shima. Thank you for sharing it with me. I hope I can see you again tomorrow. Until our paths cross again, I hope you take care. Thank you and goodbye.